How's it going? Welcome to the Sesh podcast. Myself, Aaron, and my co-host Adam. In this episode, we talk about our gym progress, and we go a bit in depth in that and how we're getting on. We also talk about some controversial current affairs stuff going on at the minute, and Adam has two stories that will leave you flabbergasted. Enjoy this episode.
You know, Aaron, it's an absolute delight to be able to join you here on this lovely Wednesday leading up to Royal Rumble weekend. Are you excited? Are you excited about the Royal Rumble? I don't know anybody that's not excited about the Royal Rumble.
I didn't even know it was Royal Rumble weekend.
Well, I've found one person so far that's not excited for the Royal Rumble.
Although I would be excited about the Money in Bank thing or whatever is going to London. I'd be excited if I was going to that.
Oh, who knows? Who knows? Maybe check your Christmas stocking and see what happens.
Well, he did surprise me with fucking PT and gym classes, so don't know, maybe for Valentine's you might surprise me with a few tickets for WWE in London.
Who knows?
I'm not saying no.
Yeah, why not? Why not? What was I going to say to you? You're bringing that up anyway. How are you finding that? Well, how's that been going? I know we've been at the same training sessions, but still.
Yeah, we're into our second week now, and I'm feeling a lot better myself. I have more energy today, and my muscles aren't as sore as the first week, which is like that was bound to happen anyway. And I noticed when I was taking Bingo for a walk today that my legs just felt more powerful. Like my quads just felt like they had more power on them. I know it's weird to say, but like we're doing legs at every session, so I don't know. They felt a bit more powerful, a bit more sturdy, and I don't know. My whole body just feels.
Raring to go.
Yeah.
That's that core strength that's getting built up. All the leg work, all the core work, everything that you're doing. Of course, you're going to feel stronger, a lot more stable. I can't say I actually am feeling the exact same as you, bar my workout today, which didn't go fully to plan. But look, we can talk about that later on. Anyway, I believe I haven't even said welcome to the After Sesh to all of our listeners, all of you, so many millions and millions of the After Sesh listeners. Lads, I'm sorry, I'm really tired tonight. Just so you know, if you can't tell by looking at the screen already. Nearly 3.5. This will be our third week, start of our third week. Training
Already?
with Dan. I know, yeah, it's flying by.
Well, the time flies me having fun. This is fucking dragging, and I'm hating more and more by the week. Sessions are tough.
Don't lie. The sessions are tough. That's the only part of that's not lie. Don't say you're not enjoying it, because we both know for a fact that you are very much enjoying it. As much as everyone else is that's up there. Like, you have to say, I was surprised with the fact that he has such good retention of clients. Yeah. And I can understand exactly why from having trained with the lad. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's really putting us through our paces. You can see him coming over to me, even if, say to yourself as well, but like you're standing on the outside for this one, you can see him coming over to me and you hear him go, well, Adam, that looks a bit easy for you. Let's throw on more weights. And look, without doing that, I'm not going to get any better. Without doing that, you're not going to get any better. So it's great to see that he actually takes full-on almost responsibility for making sure that you're doing what you should be doing. And the daily texts are a big help also.
And can we just say, you're there in your PR on the bench. Holy fucking shit, man. You're really benching what I weigh.
Look at this pec popping for a day.
Oh, I wish I could do that. That is savage.
I can do that since fourth year. It's just, to be honest, it was more so like fucking, what's it called? It was more so like waggling the tits there for a while. So hopefully we won't get back to that stage ever again. But look, my PR there the other night is going to be absolutely eclipsed by another PR in 2 weeks, and another in 2 weeks, and then another in 2 weeks, and we're going to keep going and keep building up until we get to the point where I can no longer move my shoulders.
Mate, by the end of it, you would benching me, because you're not far off it.
Fucking, I could do that now if I wanted.
I'll take you up on the offer.
It's the one thing, right, I have to say about doing that PR. Having done, like, so it was 100 kilos was my PR, right? And then I attempt, for anyone that doesn't know, so I attempted it twice. I did 2 reps, but then I looked at the video afterwards and I didn't get low enough. And I didn't actually get nearly low enough. I didn't get anywhere near.
It was 110, wasn't it?
Isn't it? I thought it was 100.
Just say on the night it was 110.
100, I think.
Oh, that's not as impressive then. Oh, that was shite then. What are you doing? 100 Caleb? Oh, who are you? I thought it was more impressive than that.
Who am I fooling?
Yeah, I thought it was more impressive than that.
Well, you know what I will say? Joe, what else has been great? Honestly, Tonka Ali, and now obviously that's a nice little plug, but they are not a sponsor. I cannot rave enough about this shit. Tonka Ali is the dog's bollocks, man.
What is it?
It has me feeling full. It's called long jack. It's just a root off a plant. but it has the properties in it very good for boosting your free testosterone. Free testosterone is there's two different types of testosterone in your body, like I think, and free testosterone is the one that goes to aiding like muscle development and stuff like that. So it's been shown that Andrew Huberman said it's been shown that it can increase your testosterone by 200 points. Now that doesn't mean a lot to me, bar the fact that 200 is a large number. I don't know what way it's measured or how many points you're supposed to have, but I can see from my hunger and desire to train, and then just the actual levels I'm training at the moment and the frequency I'm training, it's really helping. And I don't think without that I'd be doing nearly as well as I am. So big shout out to Tonka Ali, and genuinely biggest shout out to Andrew Huberman, you fucking legend.
I'd say, see, when you were doing the classes, I'm sitting there like on the floor, like can't even stand for like a minute, and there's you, not even a sweat on you. Like my hair would be fucking
Don't
soaked in sweat,
lie.
and your
Don't
hair is sitting
lie.
there perfect, nice and fluffy. I'm like,
I have the
cunt.
hood up. I have the hood up. Have you not seen me trying to pull the hoodie off me afterwards? The thing does be stuck to me.
No, but I see it after the session, your hair is still fluffy. I'm like, how the fuck? Standing like a fucking Greek god with the arms out, their hair fluffy like our hair. Do you even do a workout?
No.
Like,
I just die. I just die.
like I'm sitting there like absolutely dying. I'm like, how you find this easy, cunt? Like I'm there dying and not a sweat on you.
So you have to realise as well, though, I kind of put in the work beforehand up until, from May up until, like, say, most of last year. Obviously, we talked about it last episode, like fucking illnesses and little injuries and niggles and shit like that. That kind of took me in and out. But, like, once you kind of get yourself past the 3 month threshold, there's nothing holding you back. Realistically, any fears or anxieties you have about even lifting certain things are gone. You know your form as well, like, correct. You know what you're doing is the right thing. And you have all the people around you that you need to be able to make sure that you're doing the right things and you're not going to hurt yourself. So,
How are you finding doing classes rather than actually going to the gym? Because normally you go to the gym, you go over and focus on, let's say, a tricep push down. You do 3 or 4 sets of that, and then you move on. But with class, you're doing 3 workouts for 5 or 6 minutes, 2 minute break, then move on to the next one.
it's
So
seven
it's
minutes.
more,
So
yeah.
3 workouts at every stage, 3 exercises at every station, and every station has is 7 minutes long with a 2 minute break. Speaking of a 2 minute break, guys, we're going to leave you with a little message here. I'll be back, and so will Aaron, in just a couple of moments.
Sorry for this brief interruption, but if you are enjoying this episode of the After Sesh podcast, please consider following us on Spotify, subscribing on YouTube, follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, all the links down below. It's a free way of supporting us and it means the world to us. Engage with us, interact with us, leave a like, share it, anything you can to support us, it'd be great. Much appreciated.
Well, there we go, Aaron. Well, that's hit record. We're done. We can
End
go
it here.
home. Right. So, what
I
were
am
we
home.
talking about just before that little break?
We were talking about how are you finding the gym and the classes, because when you're working out in the gym, you're kind of focused on one muscle at a time. So, for example, when you go into the gym, you're working on, let's say, your pull downs. You do 3 or 4 sets of that, and then you take a break, move on to the next one. Or you might do a superset where you do a pull down and a hammer curl or something, whatever it is. You do a superset. But with these classes, as you said, we're doing 7 minutes, 3 exercises in one set, then a 2 minute break. So it's more, you're building up a sweat more, and it's more, how can I put this?
It's more intense, really, isn't it? When you're
Yeah,
working out by yourself and you're focusing on specific body parts, you can't hit one after the other, after the other, after the other without sacrificing the load that you're going to be lifting. And realistically, that makes all the sense in the world. Because if I was to give you 3 tricep exercises, which is why I really like what Dan does, where it's like, say, you'll do a bit of chest, or you'll do 2 tricep exercises and a bicep exercise, then you'll do 2 biceps and a tricep, then you'll do 2 chest workouts and a back workout or a bit of legs, and there's a bit of everything thrown in there because it all complements itself. You know what I mean? It complements each other. If I was to sit there and tell you to do pull down, a tricep pull downs, and overhead extensions, and then at the same time then go, all right, go off and do skull crushers. By the time you get to skull crushers, man, God love you trying to lift up anywhere near the weight that you can
yeah.
push yourself to do. And if you're not pushing your muscle to or past its limit, you will not see any sort of sufficient growth. And that's what I've learned just from actually looking into it. Like, you'd be amazed, guys, with a little bit of due diligence and a little bit of study. I know, I actually studied for once. A little bit of study. what you can find out about something that you're passionate about that will help you beyond any level. Honestly, honestly, it's so good for you to really, really go and look into these things, because at the end of the day, like, people research this shit. They know what they're doing, and they're doing it for a reason, you know? How are you finding it? I have noticed you were like a casualty at the last day. I actually said that to Dan. I turned around and seen you on the floor, and I was gasping for breath myself, nearly dry even. I was like, Dan, we have a casualty. How
See,
did
that's
you
what I like
find
about
it?
the classes because I do be bollocks at the end of it. Like I'm sacrificing going heavier to be more intense and
Yeah.
doing like a more of not a cardio workout, but it's like a if I went to the gym by myself and just done a workout, I wouldn't be like that after a workout. But that's like constant go, go, 2 minute go, go, 7 minute work.
And the
And by
second
the
you
end of
take
it,
a break, he's onto you. He's
yeah.
onto you the second you go over to get your water. Right, next station, lads.
That's what I like about it because if I was going to the gym and just doing my own workout, like yeah, I'd walk up a sweat and I'd go heavier than what we're doing now. So let's say, for argument's sake, if we're doing shoulder press, I'm just only putting maybe 5 kg either side and the bar. And if I went to the gym by myself, I'd probably put fucking probably 10 either side because I know I have the energy and the strength. I'm taking more of a rest so I can lift heavier. But with these classes, but the fact that I'm more intense and quick and 2 minute break and three workouts is in one, it's like doing a super set, which
Yeah,
is what I
exactly.
like because I'm not only building muscle, I'm actually like burning fat because I'm sweating so fucking much. And
You're building your endurance up as well to
yeah,
no end by tackling task after task after task.
and I'm trying to go heavy on the stuff that I am doing. I'm trying to push myself as much as I can. Like if we're doing the hip thrust or whatever, and I feel that it's a grand weight. It depends. If it's at the end, I'll leave it at that, but I'll try to go a bit heavier.
Yeah, sure. Even at the start, the last day, you jumped down. I was like, here, test that weight out. You jumped down and went, grab two more 15s.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? It was perfect. Happy days. I didn't bother testing it. It was like, right, you can do it. My motivation's like, if you can do it, I can fucking do it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, that's the way I think is the best way to look at it. And see what
And
you're
that,
talking about as well is perfect in terms of lower the load, increase the volume of the exercise.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the best way to, because you can progressive overload in that way. So you're building up your muscular endurance, and if you keep adding small bits of weight, say 5 kilos or 10 kilos or whatever each week, by the time you go back to hitting a normal gym after dance classes, your PRs are going to be through the roof because your muscles are going to be like, huh, I could only lift this, yeah. Really, only this one. Like, it'll be deadly, honestly. And I feel like at the end of this 8 weeks, we've kind of seen some results so far. At the end of these 8 weeks, I swear to God, like, fucking hell, I think I might even put up a topless photo on Insta.
Bit of plug there. Follows the Instagram. Want to see that?
That's it. Anyone wants to see my calendar, will be out next year.
But you know what else about these classes is good? I'm doing stuff that I never would have done in a normal gym. I'm doing hip thrust. I'm doing more legs. Like we're doing legs every fucking session. Whereas if I would go to the gym, it's only like once or twice a week. Well, now that's what we're doing now, twice a week. But you know what I mean? Like legs is forgotten about for most people. But this, it's like we're doing 3 or 4 workouts maybe each time. Like we're doing squats, box squats, stand up on the box, fucking Bulgarian squats, fucking lunges, the sled machine, the sled, were like there's loads of legs we're doing, and that builds up his sweat as well. And the legs are the toughest muscle to work. So if you're walking them doing a leg workout, you do be absolutely bollocks. And then we try to get the good God, we try we try to get the room of doom first, whereas mostly all the leg stuff.
Sled
But
runs and
yeah,
fucking
but
squat jumps and shit like that.
for the past few times, he's dead white to it and tells us to start the one after that, so the room down was the last for us. So,
Mm-hmm.
like even there on Tuesday, we went. It was the last round. We done the gorilla rows, which I find tough to get
I
to
love them.
depth.
I love them.
We done the sled, which was it was grand weight, but like it was bollocks. And then we done the squats with the kettlebell, and I just pushed through it, and fucking hell, like
There is something to
legs
be said.
kill you.
Oh, they do, and there's something to be said here because obviously like, in the last 2 weeks I started doing like trying to get like at least a 5k in a week, and now like this week trying to get two of them. I got 5k on Monday and 4k today, so
Nice.
one more bit of k tomorrow and we're fine.
You know what I
Uh,
actually realised as well? When you're walking a dog, you don't actually realise how far you walk with a dog.
exactly,
Like a half an hour walk is 2K. I'm like, holy shit. And that's just a stroll.
There we go. And
Jeez.
here, I'd say you were in shock. Another shameless plug here, but they're not going to sponsor us because they're too big. My Fitness Pal. I got you to start using
Yes.
that yesterday.
Yes.
Through a lot of, there was a bit of pushback at the start, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of Aaron using My Fitness Pal, as in,
Yeah.
oh, I don't have the time to be scanning my food. What? You have the time to eat
No,
it.
see what I find is because I want to so precise, I want to measure it like perfect and try to get it as accurate as I can. I haven't got time to go scan each one, weigh it, scan, weigh. Am I getting the right one? Like what I'm doing now, I'm scanning each one and trying to get it as best I can because I didn't realize how much calories I was consuming. I was like, I'm consuming way less. I'm definitely in a deficit. But then when I actually tracked it there yesterday for the first time, before I went to the gym and doing a workout, I ate the calories I was due for that day. But after the workout, I was in a deficit of like fucking 800 or something. So,
Exactly.
like, I'm actually really surprised how many calories and what's in what. And even something as small as the oil you use in the pan, holy shit, the amount of calories in that.
Exactly.
So, we're into Lidl there or Aldi and bought the one where it has like 1 or 2 calories per spray or something. And like hopefully now that's going to help my weight loss. And as I said to you earlier on today, I've tracked my weight every day since we started this, and from Saturday up until today, I've lost weight every single day since then.
Brilliant.
So hopefully with this, like beforehand, I wasn't really tracking my diet. As I said before, what I'm eating hasn't changed. I'm only incorporating stuff into it and maybe taking stuff out. So I'm still having cereal in the morning, but I use the my fitness pal to see what's better to eat. So I know this one has lesser calories. I'm going to eat this one. It's just these small changes. And at the start, I said it's all about these small changes. So last week I added stuff to my diet. This week I'm eating better and going by my fitness pal. So I'd say by next week I'm hoping the weight's going to fall at me more because the past 2 weeks my weight has been like a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. But since Saturday, it's on the down. It hasn't gone up since. So touch wood. I was in a deficit yesterday, and I am only 100 over today, but it's basically breaking even. I don't know if I tracked it right or whatever, but I'm on the right path.
Yeah, I'm
But
proud of you. Well done. And I'm
that my
delighted for you because realistically, it's one of the most important things to do. A great saying is you cannot out train a bad diet. You know?
yeah, I always thought like in order to build muscle, you need to eat, eat, eat. But that's if you want serious just muscle. I want to work on losing fat first while building muscle.
Yeah. So that's all about
So
your macronutrients. So you want to be looking at taking in more. What I tend to do with my own, because it's a very similar goal from looking into it, was I've upped my protein intake to try get as close to a pound for every pound of a gram for every pound of body fat I have on, for every pound on me. Like so, at the minute I'm weighing in probably about 210 pounds, probably 211, 210. Started off at 217 when we started this. Um, so I'd say I'd probably get it around 196 to 211 grams of protein a day. Fats, I try eat good fats. I also look, to be honest, I don't know where everyone goes wrong on this. Just don't go overboard. Your saturated fats are actually quite important for you as well, for energy levels in store and shit like that. Because realistically, lads, a slice of cheese isn't gonna kill you. A fucking block of cheese might, but a fucking slice won't. Your butters, your salts, getting your electrolytes into you, making sure that you're actually staying fueled up with the things that you're meant to be fueled up with. And that was the best thing I've seen from MyFitnessPal, from using it. You genuinely, and anyone that says, "Oh, I know exactly what's in my food," unless you're a fucking nutritionist, you haven't got a clue.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Or if you looked into it and you've dedicated a bit of time to it. But it's when you start looking into actually what's in your food and look at food as a fuel. It's a fuel. You're using it to fuel your body. Like, do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean you can't have nice things from it every now and then. But if you had a diesel car, a big turbo yoke, yeah,
that's what I have. 2 litre diesel.
2 litre diesel, right? And I come over with a little, what are they called? The little electric cars and try plugging in a little, like, well, that's not going to do one. Do you know what I mean? And same with, right, if you have a petrol car and I go over and put a load of diesel in it, what am I going to do? I'm fucking your engine up because I'm giving
Yeah,
you the fuel that you are not supposed to have. Do you know what I mean? Treat your body like that. As I said on last week's episode, using one of the rules in Jordan Peterson's 12 rules for life, treat yourself like someone you are responsible for taking care of. And that is the main lesson this year. That's the main rule of this year. And that is the main plan it should be for everyone this year. Really, really look after yourself. We say this at the end of every episode, look after yourself and look after each other. Genuinely mean that. The more people we see being successful, the more people we see doing their own endeavors and chasing their dreams and doing things that they were meant to do and not holding themselves back, the better. That makes an interesting world. If you're boring, if you work a 9 to 5 and do nothing afterwards, if your stories always end with, oh, and then I got home, you are a boring cunt. Right? Sorry about you. Like, go out there, look,
Sorry
try
about it.
do something, put yourself through a bit of a struggle, and you'll be in shock to see what happens, because diamonds are only ever formed due to immense pressure.
If
God's
your
honest.
night if your night ends with Pamela 5 friends, there's something wrong.
Yeah, or our sister Ella.
Can I go through this thing here real quickly?
Of course you can.
Because when I seen this yesterday, I was actually really surprised. So on my fitness pal, it shows you obviously your calories, but also shows you the nutritions as well. So I had a look at it yesterday, and I was just curious to see what I actually took in yesterday. My protein, I still had another 48 grams left, grand.
Yeah.
Carbohydrates had 22 grams left, all right, grand.
Mhm.
I got in fuck all fibre yesterday. I only got in 5 grams. I was like, holy shit. I didn't realize
Yeah.
it was so low. And then when you scroll down, and you get to like your sodium, potassium, your vitamins. Sodium, potassium, vitamin A, vitamin C, and iron were low. And I was actually really surprised by that.
See.
Like, vitamin C was nothing. Iron was only 6 grams out of 100. Vitamin A was 20 grams out of 100. But I have these tablets inside their Centrum for Men. It has all your vitamins, your irons, and all that. I didn't take it yesterday, but today I took it and I scanned it and I tracked it. And the difference between that tablet alone is staggering. So my sodium is over what it should be. Potassium got up a bit. Vitamin A basically hit the goal. Vitamin C is 50% over. Calcium hit the goal basically. And iron, I got 50 grams, which is half of what I'm allowed. Like, that tablet alone made a huge difference today.
Fair. Yeah. No, it does. It really, really does. See, I'm kind of. I don't want to bring this on a tangent, Aaron. Like, obviously, that shows how good like the tablet is, right? When you said vitamin A, there's a fact jumping out in my head. I'm sorry, can I say it?
Oh, if you got, I'm not going to stop you.
Completely nothing. It's nothing to do with what we're talking about. It's just you said vitamin A, right?
It doesn't matter what your fact is.
If you ever find yourself in the Arctic Circle, and you've happened to, you're one of them lucky people, you've somehow managed to kill a polar bear, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're out starving, right? You need a bit of grub. Don't let the liver king fool you, right? This is God's honest truth, man. Hello, what's up? If you were to eat a polar bear's liver, right? Do you know what happened? You'd die of a vitamin A overdose. Imagine going through the trouble of, like, you go out, polar bear, realistically, their nose, man. If that thing has found you, it knew you were there from miles away. This thing is following you, right? So you better have your fucking game on. It's out swimming you, it's out running you, and it's out fucking smacking the head off you. If you manage to kill that polar bear, do not eat the fucking liver.
Just keep that in mind next time you encounter a polar bear that the Sesh podcast said don't eat its liver.
Exactly. But look,
Jesus Christ, that's so random.
It was eating me alive that I had it up here and no one knew.
It's so random.
It's the most random. You said vitamin A, like, you knew that fucking send me off on
fucking Bear Grilled shit this is.
Oh, it is, yeah.
What have you tried to eat it before?
What?
What have you ever tried eating it before? Not the whole thing, obviously, but you talking about the whole thing, yeah? Or just a bit of it?
No, you shouldn't eat it, like, it's too much
at all.
At all, yeah.
So you can't take a bite out of it.
Well, 2 things you can take from this lesson. 3 things you can take from this lesson. Look after your macros and use MyFitnessPal. Lesson 1. Stay away from polar bears. And if you can, stay away from the livers.
Stay away from polar bears, fucking hell.
Stay away from polar bears, lads. Look, genuinely, they are out here to kill you. Like,
they're obviously the white ones because they live in the Antarctic and all, obviously.
They do, actually, right? They are the white ones. And then, this is interesting, right? In America, there's 3 different types of bears. So you have your polar bears, you have your grizzly bears, which are brown bears, and you have your black bears. And believe it or not, they have like a little rhyming scheme for what you're supposed to do.
I was literally about to get into that and ask you a question about that.
Yeah, if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, get on the ground. And if it's white, you're gonna die.
If it's yellow, let them meadow. If it's brown, push it down. There you go.
That's it.
Meet the fuckers.
Will we go and actually talk about some current affairs, right?
Yes,
and what's
please.
actually going on here,
Please.
right? We'll get off of polar bears and shit like that. So, what do you make of what's going on at the moment with there's a few different things to get on, get talk about. Now, they could be deemed as controversial topics, and believe me, me and
Oh.
Aaron are not here to stir up any controversy
Mm.
whatsoever. We're just here to give our points to each other back and forth. You can join in if you want. What do you make of what's going on with? Right at the moment, I don't want you to feel like I'm throwing you under the bus here because I'll
I
actually
care.
I'll give my point of view first, right? See, with there's a lot of protests going on at the moment all over the place, basically over fucking everything that's going on. I don't blame people for protesting in the slightest. If you're unhappy, go out and protest. Like, it's your democratic right to do so. You know what I mean? Like, so we live in a constitutional republic where the people are supposed to be represented. If you don't feel represented, talk about it. That's fucking great. I don't like how a lot of when you're looking at genuine concerns from people, how people can try mislead a message and try pervert a message. So you have a lot of people that are going, oh, the people up in Ballymun and East Wall and Drimnagh, oh, far right this, far right that, and all. I'd actually love to see them get your average mother or your average fucking young fella that's at that's at the protest, that actually believes in their heart why they're doing it is for the right reason, to come on and chat about it and see how far right they actually are. I'd love to actually, hear a bit of discourse, because it just seems like everything is getting pumped at this is racism and xenophobia and blah 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 blah. People have a right to ask questions about what's going on in their own area. It doesn't, like Varadkar said, look, people don't have a veto over who comes into their area. That's true, but you have a right to ask questions. Like, even if I don't agree with you, you could be the most heinous cunt on the planet, sprouting the most hateful bollocks going, right? At the end of the day, I will defend with my life your right to say that, even if I don't agree with you. And I feel like that's a fundamental right that everyone needs to have. You need to be able to go and express yourself and speak your mind. Because you know what happens when people come out with stupid ideas and they're able to express themselves and speak their mind? Yeah, they start podcasting. But also, people then come out and go, that's a fucking stupid idea. Maybe you should do this. You know what I mean? If, like, otherwise you push ideas under, they go into an echo chamber, and then all of a sudden you have an underground movement of people that have gotten into something for no reason other than a snowball effect of being called a cunt or being called this and that, blah 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 blah, and it festers. It's like any wound that's not treated, it festers. So I'm kind of disgusted with how people are getting treated in terms of, like, go out and actually listen to the point of view of the people. Do you know what I mean? That are doing this. It's not the view of everyone. May not even be the view of half the people, but it doesn't mean they're not worth listening to. It's like Adon O'Riordan is a Dublin Central, I believe, or he's either that or he's for Clontarf. He's like a TD or whatever. Like, he's in the opposition. He's a Labour Party fella. I fucking hate the Labour Party scumbags. But he was asked, right? Someone asked him when he was at the East Wall for Everyone, I think it was called. The what was that even a protest? Is it like a show of support or whatever? He was asked that. It's like, have you liaised at all with the residents of East Wall that participated in their own protest? And he goes, no. Why would I? Now, if that doesn't, like, ring out to everyone here that man should not be in the job of representing the people, nothing will. No, why would I?
Hmm.
That's clown like behaviour.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
that's
Like,
put it nicely. Yeah.
that's someone that's not going to get re-elected.
No.
Prick.
So going back to what you said there, what's my view on it?
What's
I
your
can.
view on what I said there in regards to people and their treatment in terms of what's going on in Ireland in general? How you feel like the ordinary person? I feel like I've gotten away from the question, but how do you feel like the ordinary person is being treated and portrayed in Ireland at the moment? Do you have any opinion on that?
I can see both sides of the story. I can
That's
see
fine.
why people are getting frustrated. I can see why people are protesting. But as you said, you can't control who comes into the area. But you have the right to be concerned on who is. You have the right to ask questions.
Yeah.
So you hear these stories. I don't know how true they are, but if you hear something that's concerning you and concerning your area that puts you in danger, your area in danger, you're obviously going to look into it further. So when you hear these stories of, oh, the schools opened up and 40 men got off a coach and they're going to be sleeping there for the night and sleeping there for whatever, blah, 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 it's obviously going to be concerning. So obviously you're going to look into it and you're going to make sure it's safe. You're going to ask questions. Then, like, if they're fleeing the country for a good reason, like the war in Ukraine, they're coming over here, they're seeking asylum, whatever, blah blah blah. Yeah, fair enough, grand. Then you have people saying, look after your own first. I agree with that to an extent because the fact that we're in Europe, our doors always opened. People come over here to work, look for a better life. We do the same thing. We go to Canada, we go to Australia, we go to
Yeah,
Europe. What's the difference? We're taking jobs from over of them people, but we can't be a hypocrite and say no, you can't come over here, but we can go elsewhere. The
exactly.
Irish built fucking
The
uh,
States
the
and
states,
Australia.
Australia. And then if you have people coming over here, people are like, oh, I'm not getting into a taxi if he's from Nigeria, blah blah blah. You can't be doing that.
No, that's
That's
scummy.
flat racist
That's
too.
fucking scummy. Like,
Yeah, I'm not one to judge anyone. Like if I'm out with someone like, oh, I'm not getting a taxi with him, like right, see you later. I am. I'm getting in with the taxi with him. He's gonna bring me home.
yeah,
See you
exactly.
later.
It's like fuck you. Yeah, go wait in the cold and get another taxi then.
I'm not gonna judge anyone. Like I'm not gonna like let's say there's a place beside me and someone said that people are coming in here, there's beds being delivered into that place and there's people sleeping there and they're causing trouble already. They're stalking people, they're following people, they're trying to start fights and all. I haven't seen one thing about it. I haven't seen one person walk past it the other day, looked empty and abandoned to me. Like everything you read on social media, don't take it as the fucking gospel.
Thank
Obviously
you.
look into it further.
Yeah. There's a great
And
saying I heard as a child. My mother always said it to me. It was mostly when I was trying to eavesdrop. It was only don't believe in all you see and only half of what you hear.
yeah, and there's obviously two sides to every story. Like we went through the same
Three.
event. Yeah,
There's yours,
there's
mine,
your
and the truth.
side. Yeah, yours, mine, the truth. So if we went to an event and something happened, and we will give a statement, it's gonna have two different sides of it and two different perspectives of it. And then, as you said, it's gonna be the truth. So,
Mm.
as I said there, when you hear a bus coming in of 40 men into a school, it could have been 40 men that were in hotels and had to go sleep somewhere. I don't know, somewhere's getting
Exactly.
crowded. So
They could
that's
have
people
already been
women.
a part. It doesn't mean that they were a new arrival into the country. They could be only like they could have been exactly as you said, say moved from Wicklow to Kerry, like Sean. I mean, they could have been
Yeah,
moving from within the system. But
yeah.
I wasn't trying to get onto I know it kind of came into that, but I wasn't trying to just say it in the way of like say immigration. Right? I've no problem with immigration, as you said. Like fucking Irish people go everywhere. Like it's what we do. We're
That's what
kind of
people are
just we're
assuming.
like
People are
a journey.
assuming
We
people are
spread
getting straight
everywhere.
off the bus. People are assuming people are getting straight off the boat onto a bus
Man, we
and into
spread
a
more
school.
consistently and better in like just sorry, we spread in a more consistent manner than COVID-19. We are fucking deadly. We are everywhere, man. Everywhere. First fella to get to the fucking Antarctic. Irish young fella, yeah. So at the end of the day, we get everywhere. Find COVID in Antarctica. Fucking you.
But you know
um
what? Like, it is frustrating when you do
sorry.
hear, like, oh, there's people that are, you hear these stories, you don't know how true they are. There's people coming over and there's houses abandoned down the country. They're getting fucking modular homes. They're getting this and that, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
Getting free gaffs, getting this. They're finding gaffs that are abandoned, getting done up. Here's a gaff for you. Happy as Larry. It is frustrating. Don't get me wrong, but, like, what's the homeless figure? Like 13,000 people or whatever. There's
Between
been
11 and 13, yeah.
they're saying there's a couple of thousand coming in and they're all getting homes. Why? Like, you do get the frustration of people because the state of the country's in.
Mm.
People are frustrated. You have the right to ask questions. You have the right to be frustrated. Like, when you hear of the homeless figure of a couple of thousand, whatever he said it was, and you hear these people coming over getting homes or whatever, do they have priority because, like, they're fleeing somewhere? You can't, like, just throw them in the streets and, like, yeah, you should be looking at your own force, but, like, you can see both sides of the story.
Bro, I'll give you this, right? And this was heartbreaking. And like, you know what, I'll end. I think we should end the podcast on this one because genuinely, I feel like people will have to go home after this and really have a nice think to themselves about what's going on and the policies that they're supporting and what's actually going on in their own country. So, just to reiterate this, basically, I wouldn't have I would have the exact same safety concerns if never mind if it was an Albanian, Georgian, Ukrainian, whatever, any nationality. If it's an Irish group of fucking 60, 40 homeless dudes getting moved into one area that has small kids and all around it, it's not fucking safe. Like, do you know what I mean? And I can
I'd be
understand the
concerned as well
concern.
if it was Irish. Like, if no
That's
matter
what I'm
who moves
saying.
in
Like,
beside you, like, even if where I am now in an apartment, if someone moves in next door to me, I'm gonna be like wary of them. Not
yeah,
wary, but like, you know, I'm like, oh, you sound and
yeah,
should I
of
be
course.
worried about you? Like,
It's natural to be inquisitive. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, it's not like we're not allowed to be inquisitive.
yeah.
But I have a friend, and obviously I'm not going to repeat the name here because this is a really fucking this actually hit me fucking hard. Like, so I have a few friends that are teachers, right? And in some of the schools, they've like say taken in Ukrainian children. Some schools haven't, right? So I've kind of gotten an eye on both sides here. One particular friend had said to me that, like, say there's 4 or 5 Ukrainian kids that come into the classroom, right? And this is in primary school, so I can imagine in secondary school it'd be even more difficult. Everyone knows how fucking awkward it can be in secondary school, especially when you hear this. So these kids, bear in mind, don't understand the language. They don't know the language. They're wondering why they're even in the fucking room, right? They're crying all day because they can't communicate properly with them. Now, the teachers are getting told, well, you're going to have to come up with something to do for them. Why is it not the case that a mother couldn't come in if they're not going to be working here? Say if you're going to have someone that's not working here, a mother, right? Why couldn't she come in and be like, all right, can you at least translate to the children what the fuck is actually going on in this room? Might be a bit easier for them to learn. Because at the end of the day, don't think, and I really fucking hope this is true, there should not be a single person on this island or in this country that wants to hear that children are going to school crying their fucking eyes out because they haven't got a clue what's going on. Do you know what I mean? That's not fair on them. It's not fair on any of the teachers that have to deal with it. And it's also not fair on the other students in the classroom who are losing their teacher for significant portions of the week because they have to go out and deal with a situation that is none of their faults. Yeah. I want everyone to go home and just genuinely think about it. If you have any kind of issue with what's going on here, direct every single level of blame where it should go. And that is where the buck stops and where the buck should stop. And that is with the Irish government. There is no one at fault here other than them. There are, do you know what? I'm not going to get overly political, but honestly, level any bit of pressure you can at them because they are ripe to fold at some stage. They cannot keep being allowed to get away with this. There's quite clearly no plan on how to help these people. The resources we have already are not good enough. They might be stretched, but they're not good enough. Housing crisis, COVID crisis, hospital bed shortage crisis. I have a friend that told me last week his girlfriend went into the hospital, was getting a surgery done, literally had the lines in marker drawn on her on where she was getting the surgery, what was getting removed, everything prepped and set. She went home an hour later because there was no bed for her post-surgery.
Fucking hell.
Now, right, that's not fucking right. So I want to leave you for the only time ever this year, lads, hopefully angry at the end of a podcast, because I want you to think about those two stories there, and I want you to think about how fucking wrong that is.
That's shocking.
Yeah, people are going out and protesting. These are the things we should be fucking protesting over. Real human stories, real tragedies in life, like lives taken away from children there. Only lives they've known, to be brought to a country where they can't even communicate.
People just on the protesting. People are protesting in the wrong area. They're protesting outside the place where the so-called asylum seekers, whatever, all these
protest outside your local TD,
and
outside their office.
House.
Protest outside Leinster House. Protest outside the Shannon. Protesting anywhere in the political sphere that you will see an impact.
Just outside Leo.
No violence. I have to say that. No violence. Because even all of our 12 listeners could go out and commit heinous January 6th level crimes and, no violence. Go out and show people have the power. The government should always fear the people. What's going on isn't right. And clearly the people in power aren't able to fix it.
Just look at what's going on in France and you'll understand the people are more powerful.
People are always more powerful. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you enjoyed this podcast. I hope you like, share, and subscribe if you did. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Slán go fáil. Agus go raibh mágat.